on the river, okay? You guys own the key piece of property for people to get on the river. That parking lot should be expanded 2 or 3 times the size on the river side, so people aren't walking across the highway with rafts, kayaks, and other things. It's not safe.
Yeah, is that at Montauk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the second part of it is, because I usually I have a very, very good friend who owns a canoe livery, and they allow me to put my rafts in and stuff, because I have some very good rafts. But otherwise, to walk down that trail you guys have is so dangerous for people. I think it's time, I mean, there's always a balance with environment, but there's also people. And the chance of people breaking ankles going down that path you have with all those roots and up and down, there's no reason why you shouldn't put some gravel in there and make that an easy walking path for people so they don't get hurt. I don't know if you've really walked it or tried it yourself, but it's dangerous. And when you're carrying a raft this way and you can't see your feet, it's a real easy place for somebody to get hurt. So.
Yeah, so just one so that property is actually owned by DEC,
Okay.
but we co-manage it with
Okay.
them. So we have another area where we've reinvested in our partnerships and collaboration
Good.
this year is working better with the DEC in New York and then the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission folks. So we will take that feedback back and see what the DEC might be willing to do to improve it. Because I have walked the path and I had a similar thought of like, gosh, if I was carrying a boat, I probably just would have, my feet would have slipped out from under me. So
Really is.
yeah,
And if you're they've cooperated very well with us, because we maintain the number 2 bridge area, and we did that big parking area for turnaround to make it safety for boats and everything to get in there. And they worked with us very, very much hand in hand to make those good things happen, paving, everything. And I would think that if you really just say, hey, we need to make this safer for people here.
yeah,
To open that parking up so you're not having everybody walk, because that parking lot is jammed all the time. It's packed. And then that safety issue of trying to walk down with carrying the boat when you can't see where you're walking, people are gonna get hurt.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take that back.
Okay, thank you. And I'd be willing to help with you, meet with
Okay.
them, whatever would be easy.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Since you're on the river every day. shouldn't
Yeah, I
be a
know.
problem.
I'll meet you there. Bring your snorkel.
All right, any other board members have any questions? Great presentation, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for coming.
Yeah.
We'll try not to bore you for the next part of the meeting. All right, Norma, you're up. Norma Shop for the schoolhouse here in the town of Deerpark, and always working.
Well, a couple of things, but I'm gonna start with what is really the most important. I wanna thank the Highway Department and the town board, because last week we had a program, and one of our guests comes out from the bathroom and says, you have an inch of water in the bathroom. I'm so glad that we were there, because I'd hate to have seen this happen when nobody was there. We would have had the whole place flooded, and it didn't take very long to get it all fixed. And I'm really appreciative of that, because that building is used quite often. Our Tuesday group has to come over here, if anybody who's working there, all of our visitors, we have to tell them. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you
Norma,
very
you
much.
can pull your mic down just a little bit.
Right, yeah. I'm just gonna
Okay.
enter in.
Sorry about that.
I can't
Okay.
hear a thing. It's not picking up on my system.
Oh, okay, how's that? I'll
Much
hang on.
better, thank
I'll
you.
hang on to it, how's that? So, that much said, I'll move on to a couple other things. You did get a memo about the piano alarm system. And if you would just approve the fact that we could go ahead and look into that and get an estimate, and we have enough money in our trust and agency account to pay for that, if it is reasonable. We would like to have the alarm system, the pad, be both in the front and in the back. The back is handicapped accessible. And those of us who are getting older really would appreciate getting in that way rather than the steps. We have had the railings, new railings put up, which helps a great deal in the front, but for some who have canes, it's much easier to come in through the back. So that, I would just like permission to go ahead with that project.
Give me a second, I'll read the letter, all right, and then maybe we can act on it tonight. Town of Deerpark Board, from Town of Deerpark Museum members. Reason PM alarm. At the last Town of Deerpark Museum meeting, a motion was passed that the following would be presented to the Town of Deerpark Board. Town of Deerpark Museum members request that the keypad for the alarm system be moved from the front entry door to the rear entry door for safety reasons. The rear door is handicap accessible for easy access. This would involve PM alarm to change the keypad from the front entryway to the rear of the building. Also, the rear door would need to be rekeyed with a new handle. Present handle does not have a key to open the door. Town of Deerpark Museum would pay for this work to be completed if it is feasible and not too costly. Kindly let us know if the work can be done and what the cost would be. Thank you, Norma Schott. I think we spoke and we thought it might be better to have a keypad on both doors. So I will call them and get a price and let you know.
Yes, and so we do want it on both, because then we realized that if it's in the back in the wintertime, that all that ice is shot and the snow gets plowed there in the parking lot, and we can't get in. So the wintertime, we definitely have to come in through the front.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, I misunderstood. I was not at the meeting when this happened, so that's what happens, you know,
Okay.
sometimes a little misunderstanding.
All right.
But I'm glad we straightened it out.
Yep.
So, what can I do for you? Any other questions?
No, not about that. You can go over to Bell Tower if you got that on your agenda tonight.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to write about that. Okay, let's go on to the bell tower. Moving right along.
Do you want me to read that letter?
Sure.
Schoolhouse Bell Tower. During the spring months, museum members conducted a survey of work that needed to be done for the schoolhouse property. Small repairs and improvements are being completed by the members. However, there are some items which take more work than we are able to complete and need to be completed by other town personnel. The bell tower needs to be scraped and painted. See picture attached. You're correct. The drive in front of the building needs to be resurfaced, tarred, and chipped. The surface is pockmarked. This work can probably be completed by the town highway department whenever they are doing this kind of work on other town projects. If you need any additional information, please contact any member of the committee. Thank you, Kara, and correct me if I mispronounce these, Kara Aloni, Joan Applegate, Lori Town Cover, Bill Dudko, Barbara Johnson, Brian Lewis, Norma Schott, and Michael Vorton. So, since the highway superintendent's right there, well, he's booked till about November, so.
Yeah, we're not doing any tar and chip this year, but we are paving. I don't know what the budget is. That's
Okay.
something that you'll have to let me know. I can get you a price.
Well, the last time it was done when you were tar and chipping something else,
Right.
and we were just an addendum, because it's just the front.
That's what I mean. There's no tar and chip plan for this year. It's all regular paving.
Well,
So.
we'll take next year.
And I'll gladly take your money, so.
We'll talk about that, Norma, how's that? And
That's good.
new budget coming up and starting in August, so.
No, because it's been years since it was done, and it couldn't use it, but just the front, the side's fine, side.
Well, I know he'll look at it now that he knows, since he put in the septic tank the same day he needed one, so.
We figured it out, that we didn't know where it was, and we figured out, considering the condition it was in, that was put in by the fire department when they used the schoolhouse as a social pool.
Huh?
That's what it was used for, and that would have been in the 60s and 70s and half of the 80s, maybe until 84. So, yeah, it's no wonder it collapsed.
Yeah, all right.
But I'm so glad you found it. That was great. Thank you. And now, the other thing that was, because of COVID, and the museum was closed for 2 years. And so, and no one could meet there. I was allowed to go in. I was given the order that you can go in there, but nobody else is allowed in there. I said, okay. But I had to get out of the house because my kids quarantined me, so I had 2 places to go, the schoolhouse and home. And what I did was reorganize the whole building, cleaned up things, and then when COVID was over, we had to reorganize a committee. And in so doing, because people had moved away, some people aged out, some people were still hunkering down from COVID. So we started with almost a brand new committee. I put together workshops, procedure workshops, so that they know what's going on. And I know we have 2 new members here for the town council, and I'm sure you're not aware of what we do, or you have an idea anyway. So with that in mind, the museum put together this booklet that we gave you, which
We just had them
I'm
fixed.
gonna move, never mind this thing. I'll move, thanks. So what we started, just to give you an idea, you all have this booklet with some of the exhibits that we have, and all these pages, and these are all current. And some of them were put together during COVID, but some of them are permanent. There are some things that are permanent, like the milk bottle collection. And then we moved on. The schoolhouse is used by both the historian's office and the museum. And with this in mind, I put a section together for the historian's office, the equipment that we have. Now this is all the equipment that belongs to the town, and I thought it'd be important that you know what there was. Research materials, all the photos, thousands of photos. As a matter of fact, the last photos that I cataloged, we have 4,350 photos in our collection. Some of them date back a long, long time to the 1940s. And because, people emptied their attics. They didn't know what to do with stuff, so they gave it to us. And if it had anything to do with Deerpark, we kept it, cataloged it. Then there was the page where we have all the files, there's all the records that we have, and that's the office equipment for the historian's office. And then, based on what I did with the procedures, I just made a copy for you of what I went through, and I'm going through with all the new people that are there. And I'm taking them step by step through every cabinet and all the boxes. They had no idea all the records that we have. In the I don't remember when, but Shirley Zeller was the town clerk, and she worked with the Menacing Valley Historical Society, who was also doing exactly what I did. They were cleaning out, and they had boxes and boxes of Deerpark records, which they didn't want, and we got them. And they date back to the early 1800s. So we have a tremendous amount of material for people who want to do research. And then one of the other projects we have is the Grange, which we've cleaned up. And I brought pictures of that, and pictures of that. The basement is usable for storage, and that's about the size of it. And we have such an abundance of things that we have kind of moved over there too. And we have got displays there because we didn't have any more room in the schoolhouse. So with that in mind, we thought we'd give you this update. And if you have any questions, as a matter of fact, I invite you to come over anytime. You can come over. I'm there Tuesdays, I'm there Saturdays in the morning. And we'll be until for the next week or two, and not for a while. Well, others will be there. You can talk to Bill. He knows everything.
No, I don't. I would love to know half of what she knows.
Yeah. Norman, none of us can keep up with you, so.
So I invite you to come over, and 2 more programs yet. We're having the parting glass with Irish music. And something new we started this year, our refreshments reflect all the programs we had. We had when the dairy product, when we had the dairy program, we served cookies and milk. And when we had the Seneca Indian, we made Seneca Indian donuts. And believe it or not, I brought 35, I went home with 5. They were all, that was all that was left. And people kind of like that. So with the Irish, we're gonna do soda bread, scones, cottage cream, and tea. So that's what's up in September. In October, Michael is giving ghost stories. We haven't just gotten that far yet. Maybe corn or whatever we're gonna have Sunday.
Any questions for Norma from the board?
Yeah, what are the hours up there again when?
I'm there on Tuesdays from 10 to 3. And tomorrow, probably you'll be there, I can be there longer too. You can call me at home, and I'm only 10 minutes away.
Just if some people ask, because it wasn't in, this is a great place you're at, I love what you have, but I didn't see any hours there.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Is there other days too?
A Saturday morning from 10 to 12,
Okay, thank you.
and then by appointment.
Okay.
And I'm happy to come anytime. Any other
Do we
questions?
have that, we don't have that on the website, do we?
You have to ask well.
Yeah. Do you know what they're talking about? For the hours and everything? It is, okay.
Oh, by the way, it was very interesting, and Kara texted me today that the police department, since you're here also, gave us a very nice plug. However, they got our hours incorrectly from the town website. The town website still has that we meet Thursdays. This was pre-COVID. We meet on Tuesdays at noon. So I put a note together. I will do that to whoever takes care of the website.
Either Flo or Danielle. We'll-
Danielle, okay.
Yeah, or Flo. They'll get that to Noah, our webmaster, and he'll change that for you.
And there was something else too that was incorrect. Oh, it still had Carl Brabenek's name as supervisor.
You can just welcome back.
No, those were the 2 that hit me right away.
Yeah, okay.
So, any other questions, comments?
No, thank you very much. We appreciate your work and your whole committee. It's
Thank
very
you.
important. Thanks.
I appreciate everything you do.
All right. Gonna give the floor over to Flo for numerous announcements. Flo, you got a speaker over there?
Sure, you took me by surprise. We've been getting some documentation. First and foremost, August 1st, hunting licenses were on sale. And I believe a lot of people know that we're not doing the Belcon anymore. We are doing paper. It's coming off our printer. So I have examples that I put on the website so people would know about it, that they don't get surprised when they come in. But now all your hunting licenses are coming out on paper, and I have an example here. Kelly Eskew, our wonderful county clerk, we are coming again, they're coming again with their DV motor, the truck, and they'll be here Friday, August 30th, from 10 to 12, and then from 1 to 1:30. They close for lunch from 12 to 1. I've heard nothing but great things about them coming, even though Port opened, coming up here. It's not as crowded, they get in, the people treat you so nice, everybody treats you so nice, it's not anything different. But they're so happy that they could be here, and it's at the senior center. So please come in if you need anything with your licenses, whatever, it's plates, whatever. We also, I don't know if everybody saw the announcement that the Social Security office has moved from Newburgh, and they got an office, it's going to be, I just read it, I just went.
Middletown.
It's Middletown, is it Middletown?
Yes.
Or- Okay. I'm trying to get the correct address. 85 Crystal Run Road in Middletown. So that's where they are now. No more Newburgh, only here, Crystal Run Road in Middletown. So if you have anything, and this is also on our website. So we got this on our website, Social Security, the DMV, and the new hunting license. Anybody has any questions, please call me at any time. You know where I am. Hard to miss me. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Flo. Quick question, the DMV, mobile DMV requested electrical service for their van, so they didn't have to run their generator. Did that get done?
It's all set, we're working, ready to go.
Thank you so much. Did that in a hurry too. All right, and I just have an announcement for department heads and anybody else. We're now starting our budget process. The next couple days, you'll be getting your packets. Get them back to me, I believe, I don't have the date, early September 4th, so I can start working on them, and hopefully we'll have a good budget on time. So that's all I have. Moving down, public comment period, agenda items, Flo, any?
I have no one signed up, sir.
Very good. Gonna move down to department head reports. I guess Police Chief Stender won today. He goes first.
Good evening all. For the month of July, for calls of service, we had 260 calls for service. 88 traffic tickets were issued, made 17 arrests, and 20 motor vehicle accidents were investigated. And for the winner of this, 99 parking tickets were issued, majority at number 2 Beach. There you go. During the month, we also provided security and traffic control for the America the Beautiful Festival on July 13th and 14th. We were assisted by the Sheriff's Department and State Police, and I want to thank the Town Highway Department. They gave us some personnel to put out cones and everything, which was a great help for slowing down traffic. One notable arrest during the month was we made a narcotics arrest following a month-long investigation. It was a joint effort between us and the City of Port Jervis Police. It was a town resident, and we were able to get some substantial amount of drugs out of the residents. We began canvassing for candidates for full-time position. And one last thing is my police clerk is now out on leave. She had a baby.
Oh, congratulations.
So she'll be out until September.
All right, added to your work.
Yes.
All right, any questions for the chief?
Can you share the contracts?
Mostly cocaine.
Thank you.
And then I just want to commend you on the Americana Festival. I was a little worried about that. We had some mix-ups with who was going to cover, but you filled in, and I appreciate your work, and remind you we've got another one coming up in September.
I have to compliment my staff. They really stepped up and
Good
put
job.
a lot of hours in for this. So.
Yeah, no problems this year, which was great, so thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Chief, thanks. Next up, Highway Superintendent Ray Sorelli.
All right, everybody kind of stole my thunder a little bit. I broke my report down into 2 parts. So during the early part of the month, we completed all our ditch work on West Peenpack, Old Forestburg, Peenpack Trail, Old Greenville Turnpike, and Hidden Valley, all of which are scheduled to get resurfaced this month. We're hoping for sometime in the last 2 weeks. I'm still waiting on a date from the contractors. We also patched some roads with hot mix asphalt, which are not scheduled to be paved, but they had either substantial potholes or washouts. Wilson Road was not one of them.
No.
5 different times during the month, we had to call people in to remove trees from the roadways. Basically, we're in the same boat as everybody from North Carolina up with ash trees. They're dead. The boarders killed them all, and it's impossible to cut them all down. So as they fall, we clean them up and move forward. The crossovers on Guymar Turnpike were all repaved in preparation for resurfacing. Unfortunately, we had some mechanical breakdowns that were handled. Just a quick shout out to our mechanic, who is always Johnny on the spot and able to get us back in up and running in a short amount of time. The only major mechanical failure we've had is the engine on our cement mixer is done, and we're in the process of getting prices for a new one. Both flail mowing and sickle bar mowing have continued as in June and July. I'm sorry, in the end of May and June. One of the major breakdowns was, of course, to the sickle bar mower, so I apologize to some of the residents if your road didn't get mowed, but it took almost 2 weeks to get the parts that we needed. We also did our second phase of the UDC cleanup. It's broken down into 3 phases: Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day. So we still have 1 to go. During the second half of the month, I'll get to the pipe. That was the major project, but we had a sinkhole on Upper Brook Road, which was repaired and taken care of. All the previously mentioned roads that we're going to pave have all been what's called true and leveled, which means you drag them with the paver, so you take as many humps out as we can. So once the paver comes through, there's less imperfections underneath it. We obviously took care of the septic at the schoolhouse. That's been taken care of. A new toilet's also been installed there. And I'm about 85% finished with my evaluations to try to come up with a 3 to 5 year plan on what roads we're going to do. I have some roads in Sparrowbush that I have to hit, and then I'll put a comprehensive plan together so we can figure out moving forward for budgetary purposes. Lastly, as far as the large culvert goes, as everybody was aware, I had to close the road for what we originally anticipated to be 4 days. I'm not sure if everybody saw my Facebook post, but in case you didn't, I'll sum it up by saying this. Basically, that week was the hottest week of the year so far. We hit record temps on 3 out of those 7 days. Obviously, we only worked 4 of them, but I thank my guys on Facebook and would like to take this opportunity again to thank them publicly for both their effort and their dedication. Thanks to their hard work, the road was opened a day early, and I'm extremely appreciative of their efforts. And that is all I have. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I know, we had a meeting with Johnny, my representative from Dragon Springs up on Guymar, and they are gonna pay for that paving, but also in the meeting, they're gonna take a little bit of a curve out down on the lower part, if you wanna explain that to the public.
Okay, so anybody who travels Guymar Turnpike, often once you go across the bridge, there's a straightaway, and there's an old house that used to be on the left. All that's left is a foundation. No matter which direction you're coming from, whether it's Mount Hope or Deerpark, you lose sight of oncoming traffic because of the way the road comes out. So I met with the town supervisor and Mr. Zoo, is that his name?
Mr. Zoo, yeah.
Mr. Zoo, and he was able to contact them. They're gonna allow us to move the road approximately 6 feet to take that obstruction out. I'm not sure if the road will be moved over there. It's gonna depend on what we find once we start moving it, but you'll at least be able to see the clear lane all the way down. So whether you're coming from Mount Hope or coming from Deerpark, it'll be much safer travel from this point forward. Hoping to get there, well, we were hoping to get there at the end of this week. We'll see what the hurricane throws at us. If it's not too harsh, we will get there. If not, it'll be early next week.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Okay.
When are your papers coming?
Good question. So, they both guaranteed me before school starts, but they wouldn't give me a week. I asked them for a week's notice so I can put a Facebook blast out. Does everybody know that we have a Facebook page? I know it's Town of Deerpark Highway Department, but just in case, I'll throw that out there. Also, Flo puts it in her office and all the post office. It goes on her Facebook page, the town's Facebook page, and I believe it was on the website also, correct?
Yes.
So, we're about out of places to advertise.
Anybody else? Thanks, appreciate it, both of you gentlemen. All right, moving down into the town's business, I'll give you guys all time. All right, approval of minutes of July 1st, 2024. I have read them and I didn't see any issues with them. I'll entertain a motion to approve them, or a motion and a second for discussion. Let's start with that. Motion by Councilman Schock, second. Second by Councilman Whitney. Any discussion on the meeting minutes from July 1st? No. Hearing none, we'll go into a vote. All in favor of approving the July 1st board meetings?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to new business, we need to accept and approve the resolution 19 from Orange County for snow and ice removal. I'm not gonna read the whole contract, that's extensive, but I will read the resolution. Just for the public's information, we do plow a couple of different roads in Deerpark for the county, and they reimburse us for our costs. Resolution 19 of 2024, snow and ice removal contract with the County of Orange. Be it resolved that the Deerpark Town Board hereby authorizes Supervisor Gary Spears to sign the snow and ice removal contract with the County of Orange for 2024-2025 season. Just to report some of the information in the contract, we did receive a slight increase due to the cost of fuel and salt and labor. So not a lot, but we did go many years without any increases, so that's good to see. So I will entertain a motion to have me authorized to sign the snow and ice contract with the County of Orange. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chalk, second. Councilwoman Hoover, any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion, anybody opposed? Motion passes 5-0. I'll take care of that tomorrow. All right, moving down, this came up today, very exciting news, so if I can't contain myself, just say something to me. We did go out to bid for the new pavilion for Space Park. The pavilion is 100 feet by 144 feet, an all-steel structure that'll go on Space Park in back. That's going to allow us to do many things, concerts, big parties, programs, summer camps, whatever. So we do have a recreation committee that's been working on that. We have a local architect, engineer John Fuller, who's been working on gratis for that. So we put this bid out in two bids to simplify it. The bids came in, they were read aloud today. I'm going to read the opening bid minutes, and then I'm going to go over the what I would like to do. All right, this happened today, Monday, August 5th. Opening of bids for metal pavilion. In attendance, Flo Santini, Town Clerk, Danielle Oswick, Deputy Town Clerk, Gary Spears, Town Supervisor, Amanda Gore, Building Department Secretary, Ray Sorelli, Highway Superintendent, and one of the bidders, Matthew Consorti from Consorti Brothers. Bids were opened and read aloud on August 5th, 2024 at 2 p.m. The following bids were opened and read. Pioneer Pole Buildings, final lump sum bid price, $693,000. Second bid for the building was A-Tech Concrete, final lump bid price for the building of $543,000. The board will make a decision based on the bids received. At 2:08, the bids were closed, respectfully submitted by Florence T. Santini, Town Clerk. And we'll go over to the second bid, which we bid separately. Same people at the meeting, same meeting. Bids were opened and read aloud on August 5th, 2024 at 2 p.m. The following bids were opened and read. A-Tech Concrete, final lump sum bid price of $183,000. Consorti Brothers Paving and Seal Coating, final lump sum bid of $331,727.10. And concrete bid number 3, Pioneer Buildings, final lump sum bid of $139,000. Again, the board will make a decision based on the bids received. At 2:08, the bids were closed. Respectfully submitted, Florence T. Santini. So we were happy to get the bids and happy with a couple of the prices that came in, because the engineer had thought they might be just a tad higher. So any discussion on the bid opening or the prices that we received?
That Consorti Brothers paving seal coat.
Yeah.
331, is
Yeah.
that with everything, or?
That was the concrete.
Really? Okay.
Okay. That's why you bid.
Yeah, I thought that was for something else.
No.
So, neither one of these companies would have trouble doing one part or the other as far as I guess. right?
Well, that was a discussion I met with John for about an hour after going over all this, and there's a possibility that the one that didn't get the building may not wanna do the concrete. But the way I understand it, and again, our lawyer had an unfortunate accident, I couldn't speak with him. I still believe we need to award to the lowest bidder, and then that would be their option. If they didn't wanna do it, they could withdraw. I believe at that point, we could go to the second lowest bidder, or we would have the option to rebid it. So, I had directed Flo to make out 2 resolutions, 21 and 22, to authorize the supervisor to sign the contracts. And I'll read them unless you have any other questions on the meeting.
They all got a packet, so it's all bid apples to apples, so the same,
Apples to
same
apples.
strength of buildings, the
Yeah,
whole bid.
even the
size.
bid packets that were submitted, they needed to submit with the full bid package. They had to have
References.
They had to have references, they had to have the bonding, they had to have everything.
I see that in the Pioneer, I didn't get one in my folder for
A-Tech,
Raytheon.
Flo has it
Excuse me,
there.
what do you need, right?
I have this whole proposal bid that gives all the references and everything for Pioneer, but I don't have anything for Raytheon, the other bid.
Well, they just came in today,
Is
that
for
might have
today,
been,
is that for when they did the poll?
This was in my
that was an old one, Art.
that was an old one?
Yeah, when we talked about it, he had sent something.
Yeah, this isn't
That was
for-
the old one.
Okay, but
Right
they all,
here,
they all
yeah.
sent that in.
Yeah,
Same
well,
thing.
we didn't send the full bid packages in from everybody, this is it. So I said, if anybody would like to look at them tonight, but this is what we got back on each and every one of them. But John Fuller and the supervisor sat here for over an hour, went through every one
They're all
of these.
good.
Good on
Yeah,
that.
went through
That's
every one
all.
of these, what they needed.
All I need to
That's a
know.
lot of people.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah. All right, so what I would like to do is award the bids to the 2 low bidders. I'll read resolution 21 of 2024 and we'll discuss that. Authorize supervisor to sign contract with A-Tech Concrete Company for a metal pavilion at the cost of $543,000. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Deerpark, Orange County, New York, authorizes Supervisor Gary Spears to sign contract bid with A-Tech Concrete Company for metal pavilion at the cost of $543,000, dated August 5th, 2024. Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Trovey, seconded by Council Whitney. Discussion. Bids were in order. We did have 5 or 6 people at the bid opening, so no problems there. All right, motion and second. I'm gonna do a roll call vote on this. It's a large amount of money. Councilman Trovey.
Yes.
Councilman Schott.
Yes.
Councilman Whitney.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hoover.
Yes.
Supervisor Spears, yes. Motion passes 5-0. Jumping down to resolution 22 of 2024. Authorize supervisor to sign contract Pioneer Pole Buildings for a concrete slab, $139,000. Be it resolved that the town board, town of Deerpark, Orange County, New York, authorizes Supervisor Gary Spears to sign contract with Pioneer Buildings, concrete slab for $139,000, dated August 5th, 2024. Motion.
Motion.
Councilwoman Hoover, motion, second. Councilman Schock. Right, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call. Councilman Trovey.
Yes.
Councilman Schock.
Yes.
Councilman Whitney.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hoover.
Yes.
Supervisor Spears, yes. Motion passes 5-0. We'll take care of that tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, I threw them in on your agenda if you're reading. I added them later, I should have been more clear, but now we're gonna back up a little bit to resolution number 20. This is for the, I'll read the resolution and answer any questions you might have. Resolution 20 of 2024, authorizing the town of Deerpark, County of Orange, State of New York, to participate in the Orange Ulster BOLSES Police Ride-Along Program. A resolution authorizing the town of Deerpark, County of Orange, State of New York, to participate in the Orange Ulster BOLSES Ride-Along Program between the Orange Ulster BOLSES Educational Institution and the town of Deerpark Police Department for the purpose of permitting educational opportunities and experiences to high school students participating in the BOLSES Law Enforcement Program, dated August 5th. Motion.
Motion.